The legislative special session shows no signs of ending soon, and neither does the back and forth between the leader of the Senate and the governor of Oklahoma. Greg Treat and Kevin Stitt have held dueling news conferences in recent days, and to say the least, they have agreed to disagree about tribal compacts and who has the authority to negotiate them. Capitol correspondent Jason Doyle joined us from our OETA studio at the state capitol with more. Jason.
Rich, the special session is now focused on veto overrides of those two compacts, one for tribal license tags, which the House has already overridden, and the other is for tobacco tax revenue, which hit a snag this week. These Senate bells usually are heard in the spring and fall silent during the rest of the year. But there is still business at hand for the legislature this summer. That includes extending the special session to at least the end of July. The vote for that was pretty easily won.
All those in favor of adopting the HCR 1002 indicate by saying aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The HCR is adopted.
It was a veto override, which proved a little more difficult. Governor Stitt on Friday called on senators to let his veto on Senate Bill 26X stand while he's trying to offer his own version of the tobacco compact.
I'm encouraging the legislature to not override that veto, and if it's really about a one-year extension and a 50-50 term, they should sign the one that we've offered.
On Monday, a handful of Republican senators sided with Stitt.
While I do have concerns with the content and the topic itself, my concern is actually with the statutory language that we are enacting, and I believe that it is actually a violation of statute.
We've jumped in to referee on something, and it's for that reason that we're not even following what the procedure is in the compacts themselves, and we're jumping into something that I don't feel like is our lane to jump into.
And on this day, Stitt got his wish by just one vote.
Members, Senate Bill 26, having received 31 aye votes and 8 nay votes, I declare the governor's veto on Senate Bill 26 to be sustained.
40 members of the Republican caucus, 8 of them found the governor's argument convincing and voted against the overriding.
While the governor's veto stands this week, Treat is confident that won't be the case in the near future.
I know of at least 4 yes votes that were not here today. Those of you who nerd out on procedure, there is no final action on a motion to override. And so we fully anticipate that we'll be able to override in a pretty good margin at some point in July.
Stitt believes he has offered the tribes a compact which helps to protect the state's interests.
The difference is really simple. On our compact extension that we offered, it simply says this, and we clarify that it's only on trust land.
Currently, the state receives about $57 million from the tobacco compacts and approximately another $24 million from the tribal tag compacts. If the veto stand, it could mean an $81 million budget hole. Stitt's fear is that a tribe could purchase a major convenience store chain, which extends beyond tribal trust land, causing the state to lose out on millions in tobacco tax revenue. His compact proposal would keep the tribal tobacco compact on Indian trust lands.
The tribes don't want to sign that, in my opinion, or they would have already done it, and they're pushing for this compact that basically takes the definition of Indian country, and after the McGirt decision, it has different consequences. It means it potentially could mean 42% of our state. That's why they want that compact signed.
The governor's still living in a pre-McGirt world in his mind. McGirt changed the definition of Indian lands. It was not an action of Congress.
Treat says the legislature doesn't have the power to expand the definition of Indian lands like Stitt contends.
This idea that somehow the state legislature is expanding the definition. Number one, the bills do not say that, any way, shape, or form. Read the bills. They're very simple. The bills say we're going to extend those, and we're going to even extend those that have already expired if the tribe sends a letter to the tax commission saying they wish to extend it.
Stitt doesn't understand why the legislature wants to go the route of extending the current compacts.
I explained it to the leadership of the legislature. Hey, you don't need to run this compact because I've actually offered this 50-50 split on a one-year extension. Why are you doing this extension when I've already offered this?
Tree says the move to extend the compacts was to provide more time for the governor and the tribes to work out a new compact framework.
The legislature could reserve the right to negotiate these compacts. I wanted to give them another year to make it right, and if he didn't show progress, we could take it back.
He adds the governor isn't facing reality when it comes to the tribe's sovereignty.
Even President Trump has mentioned that he doesn't know why the governor has such animosity toward the tribes.
This isn't Kevin Stitt versus the tribes or the governor versus the tribes. I have to think about what's best for all 4 million Oklahomans.
The governor claims 2 tribes have shown interest in his compact proposal, but did not name them. Stitt adds he can work with the tribes.
Has nothing against sovereignty, that we've all been working together for, since 1907. Let's keep working together, but let's not have one set of rules that favors one group over another.
Even if the vetoes are overturned later in the special session, Stitt can continue to negotiate on behalf of the state with the tribes.
He can strike a deal. I hope he does. I hope, and I agree, that the state of Oklahoma needs to get a better deal out of it. But we can't bully the tribes into that better arrangement.
Tree says now that the Senate has also approved extending the special session to July 31st, he'll work with House leadership to coordinate another attempt at the veto override sometime in July.